What's up, everybody? Today, I just wanted to answer a question that I received in my comments in one of my videos. It was from Sem. It was from Semi162. Sorry if I mispronounced that. The question was, could you make a video talking about the impacts of generative AI for 3D artists? This is a big topic, right? This is a huge topic. Hold on. Shoebox. Yeah, this is a big topic right now. This is a huge talk. Everybody's talking about it at their studios or at just game industry wide, just tech industry wise, right? Everybody's talking about AI. So what does that mean for 3D artists? This is my opinion only. This is not the opinion of my employer. This is, yeah. So, and again, people might hate me for this. People who are especially anti AI are probably not going to like me very much and will probably unsubscribe and do all that stuff, but that's fine. Entry level jobs, in my opinion, they will start being devalued a little bit. Okay. And anyone who says anything else is kind of sugarcoating the situation. Okay. That's just my opinion. But not all is lost. Like, I'm not trying to say that entry level jobs are going to be completely gone. I think that it's just going to be shifted. It's going to be different. A lot of stuff that you're learning in school is still going to be valuable because you're learning how to make a finished product, a finished portfolio, and what final assets and geometry and all that stuff looks like in a video game setting, which I still think is extremely valuable because AI, like, let's be real here, it is not the best at making finished assets, right? Like, and again, people can disagree if they don't think that that's true, but that's my opinion. Okay. I think artists who can incorporate AI tools into their workflow is going to start adding value. You'll start noticing a lot of job descriptions likely going to change to have things like in the nice to have section, it's going to say nice to have experience with AI tools, right? We're going to likely start to see that shift. And then maybe 3 or 4 years from now when AI like really starts, because I mean, every year AI becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. My opinion is in 3 or 4 years, instead of it being in the nice to have category, it likely will become more of like needs to have exposure with AI processes or workflows. Okay. So yeah, so definitely don't ignore it. And I think it's impossible to ignore AI stuff anyways. Because AI is just kind of everywhere. Okay, so AI and how it's helping or not helping. That's it. How it's being used in currently, I know it's being used currently to do a lot of prototyping, right? Like, you're gonna have like game designers and stuff like that who now can just go into a website and like, okay, I am making a jungle level. I need to quickly block out this jungle. And back in the day, it would just be like cubes or cylinders that they would just throw around in like Maya or in their game engine. But what they can do now is they can literally just go to a 3D generated AI thing, type in jungle trees, blah, blah, blah. It'll spit out something and they'll import that into Unreal, and then they'll be able to build their quick and dirty, not optimized at all block out level. And they'll be able to kind of visually see it without bugging an artist, right? And yeah, it's gonna look like crap. It's probably not gonna be integrated incorrectly with the proper workflows, but at least it's gonna get in there. Okay. So I think in terms of like quickly prototyping an idea and doing idea generation, that's where it's kind of taking off. Lots of studios use AI to help kind of like build a base for something, right? But at the end of the day, you still need artists to evolve the idea and build on top of that base. Okay. whatever it is that the AI generates still needs to, if it gets approved, like if they're like, yeah, I really love that jungle tree, or I really love that rock, these rocks, and the idea or whatever gets approved, you're still going to need an artist to actually like make that correct, make that actually PBR, right? For example, like make it actually PBR relevant, and PBR correct, especially if it's like a hyper realistic game, or if it is a stylized game. Like it still needs to match the art director's art, like his stylization of the game, right? So whatever block out is being made or used with AI generated stuff still needs to fit within the art style. And artists are going to be able to keep that cohesive, better than AI. I know right now, recently there was that Unreal tech demo that just came out with The Witcher 4. And, I've been in the industry long enough now to have seen a lot of these tech demos. And, you know, we all know that like the finished product will never be exactly like how they're advertising the tech demo to be. I'm sure it'll be close, but it's not gonna be everything, that they're mentioning. So just keep that in mind. You know, Unreal, uh, when it comes to those tech demos, they're really good at like showing off like all the latest and greatest. But then once finally everything gets kind of put in, there's going to be sacrifices and stuff like that they're going to have to make. And this is not new to anybody, but AI isn't this shiny new thing that just came out like last year, right? Lots of software have been using AI, for quite some time, and now that it's exploding, they're going to continue to invest in it, right? So, for example, in Blender or in Maya, right, they've had geometry generation tools, before. Like for example, you can throw in like a logo or a logo and create 3D geometry, through through like a SVG, like 2D image type of thing, right? Retopology tools, like the reduce tool in Maya. If you wanted to quickly create a lower poly asset, Maya already kind of has something that will, with AI, try and figure out how to best keep the silhouette of a shape and reduce the polys to like 20%, 50%, 75%, right? And then, even in Maya, and I'm sure even in Blender, there's like auto rigging tools to like quickly auto rig, um, characters. And I think there's a Maximo, or there's like another, um, auto rigging, service out there online that just does auto rigging, right? And that's all through AI, right? Like it's, doing its best to kind of match and create a rig, right? So yeah, so AI isn't new. It's just have exploded in the past few years. I think what's really important for artists to take with AI is a tool. You still need the artist to nail the art direction. You still need the artist to get what the AI has generated, which is usually 40 to 60% there. And then the artist needs to do the 20 to 40% of the polish and the finished work. My suggestion, and I know people who are anti AI is going to hate me for saying this, but go and learn, or at least try these AI tools. Don't ignore it. I think that is going to be the biggest mistake, is if you ignore it. And lastly, focus on areas it does poorly in, such as functional design. You can tell it to, hey, create me a sports car, right? But how does the door open? Where's the hinge? Where is the lock? How are the wheels going to attach to the car, right? Like, it's going to create potentially this cool looking sports car, but it might not make any sense, right? It's just gathering a bunch of crap, that's searching up, and then it's combining it to make something, right? So it's like, okay, well, Does the steering wheel, is it even in a spot that makes sense, right? So these are little, the functional design of AI generated stuff for the sometimes just doesn't make sense. So you as an artist need to make it make sense, right? And you as an artist are going to be able to talk to your art directors and your leads to make sure that all the work that gets finalized in the game is following a cohesive art direction, right? And right now, it's very hard for AI to do that. And then lastly, like, you still need artists to do the final polish on the art assets for video game pipelines. So look at AI again. Don't be afraid of it. I know it's scary because it's shifting the landscape, but just think of it as, now you just have to rethink about what it means to be an artist in this AI generation. Hopefully that helps, and I'll see y'all next time.